Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that.
Oof. Yo, somebody clip that, dude.
Hey? Oh, somebody clip that!
Somebody clip that! The clip. A hype moment or sick combo that is then clipped into a short 30-second video that can be shared across the internet for everyone far and wide to go, wow, this person f***s. Or they say that their local player was doing the same thing in 2007. We all love a clip. Some of these moments in tournaments are the most memorable of all time, no matter what game you're playing. But what about when you become so enamored with that moment, so enthralled with the sickness of a combo or play, that your playstyle forms around trying to hit a sick clip? What happens when you start playing for the clip? Playing for the clip is not something that's especially crazy in the world of Melee. We've seen a lot of players with the playstyle come and go. However, I mainly bring it up today because of the Golden Guardians Gauntlet showcase we saw on the 5th of February. However, we'll get to that later. What exactly do I mean by playing for the clip? Well, from my observations, it's a scale from clip monster to wobbler. You see, the wobbler is someone who is playing to win. They don't care what their play looks like, all they want is their win condition. And sure, it's Melee. Clips are going to happen even then. But they aren't thinking about it 99% of the time. They're too busy running their calculations, figuring out what phase of the moon we need to be in comparison to their opponent's star sign to be able to hit this grab exactly 10 frames after they get back from your mum's house. The clip monster, however, has no self-preservation. They will only think about if what they are doing looks badass, like they're in a perpetual swag contest or playing against a random O2er on stream. These players are often fan favourites, and people see them as embodying the fast and crazy nature of Melee. At all times, they're throwing themselves into the depths of hell in the hope that this time it's gonna hit, I swear it. No man, that Falcon Punch you threw out the 8th time this game isn't cool. You missed 7 times before this, it's not sick on the 8th. Try something new, I swear to God! Sorry, I'm not really sure what that was. But anyway, I'm sure we all know people who fit both of these archetypes. Your Bobby Big Balls versus your Chudats, your Nuns versus your Wizrobes. But what I'm really interested in talking about today is what it's like to watch this clip monster player play in a tournament, and this weird feeling that I now only realise after the Golden Gauntlet. This is Nun in friendlies, and this is Nun in tournament. I think a phenomenon that fascinates me is watching the clip monster type of player battle with themselves when they're in a bracket. It's almost like whenever a clip monster sets foot into a tournament setting, they have this dial that they need to control, lest they throw themselves off the stage one too many times and fall out of the bracket to Bill Nye the Samus guy. What I showed you a second ago was Nun vs S2J at Gommel, and what makes this so interesting to me is that during this set, it feels like at the start of the set, Nun is trying to play a more standard Falcon, doing standard flowchart edgeguards. But as the set goes on and he gets more comfortable and gains leads, he starts being more like Nun. He starts moving up the scale. But this doesn't always happen, especially when they're losing. And I think a case study of the difference Tawny makes to these players was shown perfectly at the Golden Gauntlet last weekend, where Nun played versus Sol. Now, this set was a wild one, especially on Nun's side, but really both players were just going all at it, throwing themselves all over the place and doing some of just the coolest shit. I'm sure this is because the set didn't feel very important to either of them. I mean, they were sat in a fake boxing ring with no crowd in what looked like someone's basement. So probably a bit more fun, I would say. But I say that because if you watch them in the Gillen Open, Salt's play is a lot more reserved. You see flashes of the wild Salt, but it's all desperately trying to stay in the game with the stuff she knows, while Nun is just letting the dog in him run wild. Woof. Now, this drastic shift doesn't always apply. For sure, all these types of players will show flashes of their creativity and ingenuity when they're down in tournament. But it does very often feel like they're trying to release that clip monster inside of them, but can't tap into it due to the conflict of wanting to win and knowing that there are more conventional methods. This to me makes this type of player feel conflicting. Much like how I feel knowing 87% of you aren't subscribed. Come on, hit that big red button. Do it for my very real starving child. But yeah, I feel conflicted. We know they are balls to the walls, but they're also human and want to win and protect their ego, or even their jobs. So, which is the real them? The one throwing themselves too far off the stage to ever get back, or the one playing it safe with a regular flowchart edgeguard? Which is the real us? I'm sure while listening to this, if you've ever played Smash, you know this difference. The classic, I play so much better in friendlies. We all suffer from this in some degree, because in the end, that scale is something we all move up and down based on our circumstance, whether it's in tournament or drunk friendlies at 2 AM. We all have the range we move within, and sometimes on a tournament day, we might even be playing more towards the side that we want to be playing on. As I said, it's not like we all lean towards the clip monster. So, where is this going? Are we saying that the clip monsters are fakers because they actually are a lot more like us than they want to admit, and want to get a little cheesy now and again and take that homie stock to the bank? Nah. If anything, I think that makes them all the more real, and just shows what's so cool about competition. Wow, Chaler talking about how cool competing is again, what a shocker! But it's because it shows that in the end, we all have a little bit of each end of the scale in us. And no matter how much you complain about the other side, the fact that a different part of you is drawn out in a certain circumstance is sick, and drives home what's so cool about Melee, and that you can really see parts of a person in their gameplay. The fact that clip monsters can become wobblers, and even the wobblers can become clip monsters when they're playing with their friends. The clip monster is a beautiful part of our game. They show unrivaled creativity and push the game to its limits in a way that is extremely important to our ecosystem. As is the wobbler, the player that will push the optimal side of the game to its limits, which in turn helps the clip monster hit sicker clips through the knowledge they're able to gain and apply, and then use in slightly more practical ways when they enter the bracket, which will then give the wobbler more info as they come across new things. So, yeah. I think this is important to recognize and not deny that part of you, and instead embrace it so that you can use each part of your play to the fullest extent. There's no need to be ashamed if you need to be a bit more optimal to stop someone playing on a hot day. And damn if it isn't your God-given right to swag on someone if your free stock's up in bracket. So yeah, don't deny it, embrace it. And I'm sure that whatever play comes out of you, you'll be happy with. And I guess for some, that means for someone to please clip that! Thank you for watching the video, I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this content, you'd probably enjoy this video on how this S tier couldn't win for 18 years. Or maybe whatever YouTube feels like recommending you today. Whatever catches your fancy, really. Just go watch some more stuff, yeah? Yeah, I know you want to see. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.